Good evening from here in London. So, it's been a pretty quiet US afternoon session, however, a few stories of note. I'll start with the Treasury market. The third auction of the week today. The first two weren't really that spectacular, however this one changed all that. 2.74 on the bid cover, beating the previous 2.49 and giving an immediate boost to Treasuries. 10-year, that moved up around half a point before retracing most of the move by the close. However, the 30-year bond future, that moved up about a point. However, it retraced around half of it, but still it closed up significantly higher on the day. And moving on to the equity markets, we did see a close on Wall Street higher, around 0.4 in the S&P, with the financial sector leading the way forward here. Bank of America up 5%, AIG up around 13%. However, the tech sector was the worst performing today, which we saw in the Nasdaq 100, only up 0.02%. However, it was the highest close for the Nasdaq since December the 31st, 2007. So a good sign for the economy there. Of note, we did see one stock for poor earnings after market. National Semiconductor came in second quarter results, beating EPS expectation 34 cent against 33 cent expected. Sales 390 million against an expected 399 million. So they missed on sales, and the worst was yet to come. They reduced their outlook for the third quarter sales by between 8 and 12%. This did lead to their shares being seen down over 4% in aftermarket trade. Now, one last story I'll tell you about, Portugal. The Portuguese finance minister, he's currently in Brazil, and there is talk of potentially the Brazilian Sovereign Wealth Fund investing in Portuguese government debt. So potentially tomorrow morning we could see a tightening in that Portuguese spread over German bonds, but at the minute it's just preliminary talks. Now, I hope you have a good session, and we'll be back tomorrow at 6:30 in the morning. Have a great day. Goodbye.